Hello, my dears. In our previous class, we were discussing about living organisms, characteristics, and habitat. Is it? Already we have discussed about what are the characteristics of living organisms. Now, in this class, we shall discuss about what is the habitat and what are the two types of habitat and which are the components of habitat. Okay, what is habitat then? Habitat means you might have seen some of the animals are found in desert and some are in grassland and some are in water. Is it? And for water animals we are calling as aquatic animals. They can't live on land and land animals can't live in water. So here what is habitat? Habitat means the surrounding where living organisms survive, where it provides food, water, air, shelter to all the living organisms. For example, on terrestrial habitat means on land, we human beings are survive. Is it? We cannot survive in water just because we get food, water, air and shelter only on a land. And for example, fish, where it lives, automatically you will say that fish lives in water just because fish will get food, water and air and also shelter in water only. So those are living in water. Water animals are living in water and land animals and some other plants will live on land itself. Okay, next we shall move on to the topic that is components of habitat. What are the components of habitat? We know that science is a study of interaction between living and non-living things. Is it? Now, in the same way, here in habitat, there are two components, that is biotic and abiotic. Okay, these are the two opposite words, biotic and abiotic. You just observe, biotic means, bio means life. Is it? Biotic means life having. Okay, biotic means living components of a habitat. Okay, living components of a habitat. What are the living components? Yes, my dears, living components means, for example, plants and animals which are living in your surrounding. Those are called as biotic components of that surrounding. Okay, those are called as biotic component of that surrounding. And what are abiotic components? Abiotic means non-living. Biotic means living. Abiotic means non-living. Non-living components of the habitat. Which are the non-living components surrounding you? Those are nothing but our natural resources. Already you know about natural resource. Is it? Which are those? For example, forest, soil, air, water, rocks. All these are natural non-living resources. So these are called as non-living components of a habitat. Okay, my dears, I hope you understood what is a habitat and what are the components of habitat, that is biotic and abiotic components of a given habitat. Okay, and do you think that all other animals and plants live on earth only at the same situation, are getting same type kind of food, same kind of shelter like that? No, we cannot say like that, is it? Because even on a land there will be lot of changes according to the climate and according to the surroundings. Is it? You might have heard about desert. You might have heard about mountain regions. You might have heard about grasslands. Is it? On earth itself there are varieties of habitats will be found. Yes, my dears, in today's class we are going to discuss about two main important types of habitats, that is terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Okay, habitat means it is a place where actually the living organism lives. Is it? And now can you tell me which is your habitat? Yes, of course. Your habitat is you are living on earth. So that is terrestrial habitat. But do you know in terrestrial habitat also we come across many kinds of habitat. Okay. Now we shall discuss about those things. Before going to the habitat, let me tell about two different things here, that is adaptation and acclimatization. Okay, what is there are a lot of difference between these two things. You just see what is adaptation. Adaptations means the presence of specific feature or certain habitats which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surroundings. Means it is a permanent change. Okay, it is a permanent change. The presence of specific feature or certain certain habits which enable a plant or animal to live in its surroundings. For example, you know that monkeys are living on a tree. Is it? Why they have adopted certain habits? Just because they will get the food and shelter on a tree itself. Is it? So this is called as adaptation. And in polar bears, you know that fat is collected in its body, rich amount of fat, and also it is covered by a fur. Is it? It is covered by 2 layers of fur to overcome from that cold climatic conditions. These are the adaptations adopted by those animals which are living in a certain habitats. Okay, which are living in certain habitats to overcome from the climate of that habitat, or to overcome from the climate of its surrounding. Okay, this is called adaptation. What is acclimatization? It is a small changes that takes place in the body of a single organism over short period. Okay, not of a long period, it is not permanent. According to the situations, those animals will get changes will take place in the body of those animals, single organism, over a short amount of period. Okay, that is called as acclimatization. Okay, my dears, now you came to know about what is adaptation and what is acclimatization. Now in this chapter we are discussing only about adaptation. Okay, only about adaptation. Let us have a look of adaptation of some aquatic and terrestrial habitat animals. I have taken 2 examples here. First one is fish and second one is camel. First we shall discuss about the adaptation of fish. Okay, you know that fish lives in water. Is it? It is an aquatic animal. How does it adapted for living in an aquatic habitat? Just you have seen that how the body of fish is. Is it? It is having streamlined body because it have to live in water. It has to overcome from the pressure which is applied by the water. Is it? So it's having a streamlined body which helps it to move from one part of water to another part of water. If it's having square or a rectangle shape, it cannot move easily just because the pressure is applying all sides. Is it? At a point the pressure is very less. Already we know that. So it is having a streamlined body and it has slippery scales, flat fins. Is it? You know that slippery scales means it can slip easily into the water. If you hold it, it can slip easily. Is it? Means it helps it to escape from their enemies. Okay, and it is having scales on its body which helps them to breathe. Okay, which helps them to breathe through the skin or going in and out of the skin, and it protects the skin from cold climatic conditions of water. Okay, next one, it has a fins and tail. Is it? It has fins and tail. Fins helps in moving moving upward and downward, whereas tails help in moving forward and backward. Okay, and also gills are present on its body. We have nose and nostril to breathe. Is it? Like that, fish is unable to take the oxygen which is available in nature itself in a free. So it will take the dissolved oxygen which is available in water itself. So it has gills which helps in intake of dissolved oxygen from the water. Okay. Next one is camel. You know that camel lives in desert. Is it? Camel lives in desert. To live in desert, it has to walk on a sand. So it is having long legs. Okay, it is having long legs. Here, long legs of camel helps it to walk easily on a sand. sand. Okay, walk easily on a sand. It has hooves. Is it hard hooves? So it can walk on a sand easily. And then it excretes very little amount of urine, just because water is not available in enough amount in desert. Is it very little water will be available, so whenever it drinks water, it will store the water on its back. Is it will store the water on its back, so it can drink whenever it is necessary. So it has been adapted to live in that climatic condition, that is in a desert. So it excretes very little amount of urine, which helps in retaining the hydration in its body. And during the dry days, it will not get sweat. Okay, it will not get sweat, just because it has adapted to that climate, and also it stores water for its thirsty. Whenever it gets thirsty, it will drink that water. Okay, next, it is having padded foot. Is it padded foot can help it to walk on a sand very easily. We cannot walk in the sand just like a camels. Is it they are not using ox or buffaloes in such conditions, just in a desert, just because they cannot walk easily. Here those animals cannot walk easily, so they are using camels, which can walk easily on a desert. They will make a carts of camels there. Okay, so they can drag those carts easily on a sand. These are the adaptations of aquatic and terrestrial animals. According to their body, according to their climatic conditions, they have adapted living for themselves in such habitats. Okay. Now let us move on to the types of habitat, that is terrestrial habitat. First one is terrestrial habitat. In terrestrial habitat, again we divide it into desert, mountain regions and grasslands. Okay, first we shall discuss about deserts. Here in deserts, you know that snakes and rats dig burrows. Is it come out only during the night when it is cooler? Means you know that in desert it is very hot. Is it due to the presence of sand? It is very hot, and there will be no cooled climatic conditions there. Rainfall is very less, so it will be very hot. So the snakes and rats which lives here will come out only during the night time, and they will dig burrows, so they can live inside the sand by overcoming that hotness of a desert. Okay, when it is cool in the night time, then only they will come out. Then plants leaves are reduced to spines. Here the plants which grows in these habitats, the leaf of those plants have been reduced to spines. You might have seen cactus plant. Is it that's having spines on its stem part? Here the leaf look like a the stem part look like a leaf. Actually that is a stem, not a leaf, and the spines which are appear on those stems are nothing but a leaf, but they have modified themselves into spines, just because to overcome from that hot climatic conditions. Means here spines do not allow the evaporation of water from the plant body. Okay, so here the leaf has been modified into spines. You might have seen that whenever we do not put water to our normal plants, they will especially in sunny days, they will easily dry up. Is it? But cactus plants do not dry easily, just because it has adopted to live in a desert place where there is availability of very little amount of water. Okay, next one, the stems have a waxy coating on them. Is it? Whenever you come across aloe vera or cactus plant, whenever you cut those things, you can easily identify that waxy layer is present inside the stem itself, and it will always look very green. Is it? It also helps it to retain water in its body, so that it can overcome from the cold climatic conditions, warm climatic conditions, and it can grow in that hot region also. Okay, and here the roots go deep into the soil. Okay, the roots go very deep into the soil, means here the roots are very strong and they can penetrate easily into the soil to get water which is in a groundwater. Okay, which is a groundwater. So it goes very deeper into the soil to get the nutrients and water from the in a desert area. Next, the leaves in desert plants are absent to prevent loss of water due to transpiration. Okay, due to water transpiration, here the spines are available. Next one is mountain regions. You know already about mountain regions, you have learned this in your previous class also. Mountain regions means polar regions. Here the trees are cone shaped, needle like leaves are present, means always it is very cold in climatic conditions, so the trees are in cone shape. Whenever the snow falls on it, it will easily goes out of a plant. Okay, and animals have thick fur, presence of strong hooves help them to mountain goat to run in a rocky places. Okay, next one is terrestrial. Next to terrestrial habitat is grasslands. You know that grassland means nothing but it is always filled with the grass itself, is it? And the light brown color of the lion helps it to hide in grassland. You know that in Discovery Channel they will show that lions and tigers in grassland, is it? Especially in middle Africa. So that is a grassland area where actually the peculiar animals will live on those grasslands, just because these are having a body color which is very similar to those grass, so they can hide themselves from their predators, means who will attack them. From their enemies they can protect themselves. And here even deer will also live in this area. Here deer has strong teeth to eat plant stems, also it has a long ears, had to listen to predator movement, means so the enemy who is attacking him, he can easily hear the sound of that enemy and he can run from there, so it's having a long ears. Okay, and also these animals are adapted themselves to live in this grassland area for themselves by having a light color which resembles a grass, and they adapted themselves to hide in a grass to overcome from their enemies. Okay, this is all about the habitats, means terrestrial habitat. In terrestrial habitat we have seen 3 different types of habitats, that is desert, mountain region and grassland region. And in the same way we will discuss about aquatic animals in our next class. I hope you all understood what I have taught you now, that is what is habitat and which are the 2 important components of habitat, and also which are the 2 important types of habitat. You just don't get confused, my dears. Components of habitat means biotic and abiotic components. Okay, but what about types of habitat means 2 important types of habitat are terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Okay, terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. And again in terrestrial habitat we divide this terrestrial habitat into 3 types. First one is desert, second one is mountain region, and third one is grassland. Okay, okay my dears, thank you. In our next class we shall discuss about aquatic habitat.